listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
Alright, Riff.
Bom, 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 bom.
Bom.
No, that's it.
You don't even want to go on to the bridge,
What
do
for
you?
fuck's sake? Who tunes in to hear people going bomb?
People who listen to the Mean Geek.
With the boom,
Thanks,
boom,
thanks,
boom.
fellas. All three of you. We appreciate that.
We've got no fans, so we have fun. We're not listened to by anyone.
We're not professionals.
We're
We don't
not
make
even
a living
amateurs.
Off this shit. No, we're enthusiastic hobbyists.
I'm a recorded alcoholic.
Recorded out that title?
It's early, but it's very,
accurate.
very possible.
So we left off with a. You can't really call it a cliffhanger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The last episode.
Dude, do you really
Now
think
that
I
we're-
remember the last episode?
It was 20 minutes ago.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
What are you talking about then?
It's release schedules. We don't care about recording more than one episode a night.
No, but I still don't know what you're referring to.
We
What did
left
we leave
off.
off? We said goodbye and then I drank more. What
Yeah.
the fuck is your point?
I was about to launch into Strike Force Morituri.
Oh, no, you said Morituri and then you smiled. I remember.
Yeah.
Strike Force Morituri. So you wanted to bring up a shitty book.
It was not shitty. It was not shitty. You don't remember a book from 24 years ago? Get the fuck out.
Really?
Really?
Dude, you own my
I
collection.
had to remind you of the premise.
You own my collection. How many books did I own from 24 years ago or older?
A whole lot.
All right,
But-
how many Alien Legions did you get from me?
A lot of Alien Legions.
A terrifying amount.
But the point is, it was a short run. I know you didn't buy it.
That is true.
So when did you get a chance to read it?
I knew of it. I'm not claiming I know the story well, but I also have flipped through it and not seen anything to get me to go any further.
I enjoyed it.
Who wrote it?
But you remember the premise?
No, no.
It was Larry Hama.
There was a Strike
actually.
Force. Oh, well, that is a good sign.
It's a start.
Yeah, Larry Hama. I mean, as long as you enjoyed G.I. Joe comics and the Nth Man.
Ant-Man, the ultimate ninja.
Yeah, see?
The long,
What were you saying about not
white
remembering shit
boy
from 24
ninja.
years? I remember you hated the Nth Man.
After a while, I got a good year into it, and then it just went, what the fuck?
Mark Hazard Merc.
Whoa, hey, no.
Whoa.
We're back to the fucking new universe again.
John Sable Freelance.
That was not Larry Hama.
No, I'm just throwing crap out at this point.
You like John Sable.
No,
You've got a trade of John Sable.
I do not have a John Sable. What do you know? I like Mike Grell. I had one issue of John Sable. I'm like, really? This is unnecessary. I like Adam Hughes, but I also thought the Maze Agency was horrible.
You remember they tried to make a TV show of Freelance?
No, did they really?
Yes. In the mid-'90s, they tried. Never went anywhere.
Shocking.
Might have got 4 episodes out. John Sable. I can't remember if it was called John Sable Freelance or just Freelance.
Well,
Or just John Sable. Doesn't really matter.
Sable, Bull,
I mean, the thing had a
So,
circulation
Strike Force
of roughly
Morituri.
12.
Yeah, you know.
So, Strike
I've
Force
bought a lot of
Morituri.
shit
I
in
had
my
to
time.
remind you of the concept of that between
I'm not
episodes.
denying anything. I'm not claiming at all that I remember. I just remember not liking what I do remember.
Well, the book
which is
had
not much.
The book had an urgency to it. It did. It had to. Because much like the Nam, things were happening almost real time. In the Nam, it was
Also,
real
every
time.
month.
They got a few issues for each person in, and then the roster would rotate because people would die. And they died as a direct result of the whole concept of the book. Alien invasion. Earth doesn't have any effective way to fight them. So what do? They develop a way to give people superpowers. But the superpowers kill them in a month. So they have to spend their entire last 30 days after these treatments fighting as hard as they can, killing as many aliens as possible, and getting it over with. So the roster was constantly in turnover. So you had a sense of urgency. You never really got to get attached to any of the characters deeply, but you could see the archetypes. You could enjoy some of the dialogue. Wow, how are you?
Breathing.
Are you alive?
One can hope.
You gonna make it?
Who knows?
Yeah, well, that's you. So, I mean, I can get Cabo to do this shit. Go ahead and die.
It's not the same.
What? You don't think that beaming in via satellite from the Mojo Dojo is equal to your witty repartee?
I hate to break it to you, buddy, but you're the host and I'm the talent.
I can get talent.
Your entire life
totally
proved otherwise.
I tried so hard.
You know what? It sounds like an intriguing premise. I don't remember liking it, but to be fair, it's been a very long time.
I don't think it's ever been traded. I may have to find the first dozen.
You probably, there's a lot of shit out there that's totally forgotten. You know what was a great book that they don't talk about anymore? Was Justice Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal book.
A lot of people still do. Not a lot. It does get a mention here and there.
You have a decent run of those because of me.
Yeah.
I threw some, not easy shit to find either.
Whenever somebody talks about 80s independence, that's one of the ones that they may not go deep on.
Yeah, because it's not like
mention
earth-shakingly phenomenal. But
no, but it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
It was heavy stories. There was excellent character development in it.
Good art, good writing.
Yeah. So it was solid. But Strike Force, I'm going to have to go find some of those because I want to reread them.
Hey, you never know. You might love it. You went back to Booster Gold. You weren't thrilled.
No, but
I went back to Mr. Miracle. I was thrilled.
Which Mr. Miracle?
Dude, Mr. Miracle, if you go back to around the same time as Justice League, the single series, phenomenal
that
stuff.
One, yes, that was a good. That was worthwhile.
All right, so we have the pile because that's where I live. Is in piles of shit that you make me read.
They're not all shit.
Last week or 20 minutes ago,
last episode did have a whole lot of WTF going on.
Yeah, and very Thor heavy there, Captain. I enjoy big, swarthy blonde men.
What?
I'm just saying, never have I gotten that much Thor at once. So I'm thinking you might have some.
Well, their whole point is they
sweaty blonde god action going on in your head there.
Are you done with that?
No, I'll probably bring it up again.
The whole point is they're trying to bring out a lot of content for people to have to buy, so that they can collect it in trades. So that when the movie comes out next year, people have something to buy, which they didn't have time to do or option to do.
Yeah, it's called Simonson.
If they really wanted to, they would reissue the Thor Visionaries with all his shit in it in absolute editions, black and white editions, fucking essential editions.
You have one of the Thor Simpsons, right? I made you buy that, and then I didn't buy it.
I was very happy
jackass.
Because it ended, the run they had in that book ended with that Executioner one where he's got the two M16s going nuts at the gate of hell.
I don't have a lot of great moments in my life, but, and you know this to be true, I have been raving about that issue for 20 goddamn years.
It's a great issue. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I was happy as a pig in shit when I saw that issue again. However, this issue,
Avengers.
The Avengers. Not secret, not new. Certainly not Academy.
We're Initiative. We're West Coast.
Oh, definitely not West Coast.
West Coast?
Definitely not West Coast. Or, what's the reject one that John Byrne wrote specifically to have something
and your
to fuck
Great
with
Lakes
him?
Avengers.
My Great Lakes Avengers. Yeah, I lived in Michigan. How can you not like the Great Lakes Avengers?
Because they're horrible. Horrible.
That's right.
Doorman.
That's why nobody ever mentions them anymore, and I can't even remember what characters were in that group.
Flatman.
And you're gonna list them all off for me, aren't you?
The guy that kept coming back from life, back to life after he got killed.
Back to life, man.
Yeah, the model who turned into a giant fat chick. The guy who could turn into a door. That might be all. I think I just named the entire Great Lakes Avengers. Sweet monkey crap.
You know what? We're gonna find out the character names here.
What? Flatman, Doorman, Big Bertha,
Great
Lake. I can talk slow too. Avengers.
Lakes. How many? I only had to put AV in, and I got Avengers.
Oh, super.
Great Lakes Avengers.
Let's see how I did.
Let's see. First introduced in West Coast Avengers Volume 2, number 46.
Wow, there are 2 volumes of the West Coast
July
Avengers.
89.
Rapture.
The team name, blah, blah, blah.
Who's
Members.
in it?
Gravity, Mr. Immortal, Flatman, Doorman, Squirrel Girl.
I forgot Squirrel Girl.
Monkey Joe.
These were not all original.
Tippy Toe, Big Bertha, Dinosaur.
Dinosaur, I was in there. I do it. All right, I'd like to point out that I couldn't remember Mr. Immortal's name. I got Doorman, Flatman, and Big Bertha. That's shockingly impressive.
Grasshopper. Hawkeye and Mockingbird train them. And, just so you know, that not every popular character starts off as popular as they could be.
No.
Deadpool.
Pardon me?
Deadpool.
When?
Deadpool. Let's go back.
It's probably in his book. He joined for like an issue. And
Well, he was a reserve member.
this is getting stupider by the minute.
The Great Lakes Avengers assist the Avengers and West Coast Avengers from time to time, including as Terminus. After an encounter with the Thunderbolts and aiding them against the villain Graviton, the GLA clash with the mercenary Deadpool. And we skip a bit to find out why he becomes a reserve member. And they don't mention it.
Yeah, of course. Big pile of monkey shit.
That's the magic of fucking Wikipedia for you.
I'm just saying, like, this is why I'm on this show. It's not because I'm fucking genius or anything, but because I can pull out of my ass random facts that the average person does not have. You could name none of them, and you liked them. I load them, and
No.
I got 3. And
Absolutely not. That is not true at all. I did not like them. I knew of them. I said I had to like them because I lived in Michigan.
that's what you just said, and all I said is you did like them.
I did not, in fact,
You
say I
lying
enjoyed
monkey
them.
fucker.
I totally didn't say I enjoyed
Lying
them.
monkey fucker.
Who's a lying monkey fucker?
You a lying monkey fucker.
I am not a lying monkey fucker.
Fuck your fucking
this
monkey
motherfucker.
fucker.
Let's get back to the original
right,
Avengers.
so
here.
the Avengers.
Now that we know which
What
Avengers
issue is
it
this?
ain't. This is The Avengers number 7.
It took 6 issues before he broke out the Infinity Gems and the Hood Parker Robbins for the 15th fucking time.
I don't need Parker Robbins anymore. I don't need any fucking Infinity Gems anymore. And for God's sake, of all the things I can do without anymore, Red fucking Hulk.
Red Hulk.
Long-time listeners of this cast will remember that I gave up Red Hulk in his own book more than a year ago.
He never had his own book. He was in the Hulk book.
It was
not
his
the
book.
Hulk though.
It was just Hulk.
Yeah,
And it was from that
One
particular
Hulk.
number 1.
one Hulk, Green Hulk,
No.
Red Hulk
What?
doesn't have his own book. That's all I'm saying.
No. That latest book was all Red Hulk. It's still all... And now it's Red Hulks. Plural.
Oh, because of the chick one,
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross and Betsy.
Yeah. What the fuck? Don't need that stuff. I certainly don't need him in my Avengers. I don't care how desperately...
Parker Robbins
you
punches
wanna
him in the
honor-
face. You should like that.
With the Infinity Gem.
2 of them.
Don't need the Infinity Gems.
Well, somebody
Didn't they
does.
get rid of them? Didn't they disperse
No,
those
remember
across
that
the universe?
they showed back up, so the Avengers split them up and hid them themselves.
Again.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a constant problem.
Don't they ever watch this shit? They put it in the city of Adelan,
Which no one can find.
and nobody fucking guarding it. But it were found, so the whole nobody can find it stuff is out the fucking window.
Well, it's an Infinity Gem. It always gets found.
You know what? Bury it in the core of the fucking moon or something.
Well, they just find it there. You get one, you can find the others because they're drawn
They
to one another.
lead to each other. Yes, they want to be together, and they want to be on
they
that
want to be on
big,
top of a
dumb
glove. Like, imagine if you found all of them and you refused to wear a glove. Like, how pissed would the gems get?
The gems would be like, "Hey, man,
There's a role to be played.
we're supposed to be doing this shit, man. Give me a goddamn bottle opener." No more Thunderbolt.
What?
No more Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Thunderbolts.
No. Thunderbolts are still around. Why they're around to begin with, I've never understood. I've never read it.
I gave you some of the very first issues.
I didn't
You
go
didn't
through 'em.
thank me.
Of course I didn't thank you. I didn't like the book. Why was I
Oh,
going to
you know,
thank
you never read it.
I did. I read
You just said I never read it.
to any extent.
You didn't say that part.
Because you keep interrupting, you
Well,
big
if
dumb
you said
fuck.
interesting things, I wouldn't have to interrupt you.
Oh, I see.
Next book.
You're a douche.
Next book.
Next book is, in fact, Secret Avengers.
Oh, Rapture. Because if the Avengers can't get worse, let's make them secret.
Eyes of the Dragon, Part 2 of 5. This is number 7 of this book. They finally wrapped up the whole Sister Serpent crown on Mars. Called that one even. They move on to Shang-Chi,
Master of Kung Fu.
Master of Kung Fu.
Another book you got a few of from me and we're not thankful for.
He, I think, could probably make a pretty decent covert Avenger.
Shang-Chi. Don't forget, before you get all like cocky, like Shang-Chi could be kind of cool. He was in a team recently before this.
What, the remake of the Defenders? Heroes for Hire? I didn't read that part. I don't remember him being in that. But you'd think that a covert team would want somebody stealthy. I mean, what's stealthier than a kung fu master?
Black Widow.
She could be very stealthy. She's on the team, but she frequently teams up. She pairs off with Valkyrie, who is not fucking terribly stealthy at all.
No, I don't understand that one at all. I'm a secret Viking chick who stabs things with swords. I'm an 8-foot tall blonde woman who will cut your car in half with my giant blade. I'm a secret agent.
Not built for stealth.
That's the dumbest plan ever.
It's one of them. But we find out that Shang-Chi's father, who we all know, if we've read our official handbook of the Marvel Universe,
or the actual books, in my case.
Well, yeah, either way, it works out.
You and your damn handbooks.
I like my handbooks.
Anyway.
You know, never mind. I was going to go into a story of my childhood, but fuck that. You motherfuckers don't need to know what I was like when I was a kid.
Kind of like this, only less furry.
A lot less furry. Anyway. We all know it's Fu Manchu.
Get down with Fu Manchu. Yeah, you know who.
Stop that. I don't want to know any more about that. Don't want to hear that again. So his father is trying to
come back from the dead.
Come back from the dead, like they all do.
With Max Fury.
Max Fury. The LMD who thinks he's real. What are we going to do with this book, dude?
I don't know. And then they bring in the Nazi superhero, Masterman.
How many more different...
You know what really freaks me out about Masterman, by the way, at least in this book?
Yeah?
How much does he look like Alan Moore's Miracle Man?
A lot. A whole lot. It's...
Like, not accidental a lot.
Bordering on copyright infringement lot. I don't know if we can get through this book. I mean, generally speaking, I like Bendis branching out. Not Bendis, Brubaker branching out. Finding a bunch of different characters who can do different things. And go to town on quiet little ops. But he started off with a big bang interplanetary op, which doesn't seem very covert at all, despite the results or the methods they needed to.
Our secret mission on the moon.
Mars. But I don't remember Fu Manchu detailing what he was going to do when he was in fact alive again.
Actually, yeah, that's all he really does in the books.
He just wants to come back in this particular book. I mean,
come
back alive again to do what?
Well, if he's anything like the actual novel Fu Manchu or the old comic Fu Manchu, rule the world and torture people with exotic Chinese bugs.
But did they mention it in this book?
Centipedes and weird lizards. No, in this book, he's basically half a shambling zombie.
See, but what's he gonna do?
Here's my main
He's just
focus.
gonna take over the triads again, or what's?
Fuck that! I need him to come back to life so that he and the Mandarin can go head to head.
Ooh, that would be pretty good.
Yes,
but
yes, it would.
Would it fit the concept that we're being sold about Secret Avengers?
I don't care about Secret Avengers anymore. I just want Fu Manchu to fight the Mandarin. Like, I'm past this. You know, take Valkyrie and go. I didn't enjoy the Defenders. I don't enjoy Valkyrie, and I see no reason to. And team up with the Gargoyle again, because that was awesome.
The Gargoyle. Or the Interloper.
Dude, why do you always go to the Interloper? Who's the other one?
I think he is a sadly misunderstood and underused
You're a jackass. You can't even say that with a straight face. Who's the other guy at the end of that team?
Oh, shit. Let's see. The Angel was on there. Beast was on there. Iceman
That was early
on
when they were still trying to make that. And
No,
by the way,
that was...
half that was the Team of the Champions as well, so that should tell you something.
No, that was the end. The only Defenders issue I ever bought actually off the newsstand was the last issue.
And it was there were only 4 members.
Moondragon,
Valkyrie, Interloper, and that weird dude with the purple headband.
No, Beast, Angel, and Iceman were all in that issue.
Well, they may have been in it. They weren't Defenders at that point. There were only 4 at the end.
Yeah, all right. But
because Angel was a champion, wasn't he? Or was it Iceman?
He was the Angel and Iceman were champions at one point. Both of them.
For the 6 issues of that book lasted.
Champions of Los Angeles.
You know, it is a town.
LA superheroes.
You'd think it would get a better team than the Champions.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a big glitzy town. You'd think they'd have some of the bigger names, but
still better than Simon.
Simon Bar Sinister.
No, the freaking
Simon Williams.
There it is.
Yes, the Ionic Man, Wonder Man.
Fighting Splice, the Hollywood assassin, who also edits film.
So we're done with this this issue for now.
Secret, I just want the Avengers to be better. I mean, they're not horrible. They're not. I just was so enjoying where Bendis was going originally.
I saw absolutely no need for any of them to end except maybe Initiative.
That's not true.
What?
New Avengers with the
New Avengers was doing fine.
Hank Pym banging robot chicks. And,
no, that was Mighty.
All right, fine, Mighty then.
Until they made him the Scientist Supreme,
which turned out to be a gag.
Because you have to have balance. You had a Sorcerer Supreme. You had the mystic supernatural stuff. It was only fair that there be a scientist. No, there's no need for that at all. I mean, really, Pym over
anyone?
I mean, Tony I can see because he's really just a mechanical guy.
No, he's a genius. Is Pym smarter? Probably. But is Banner smarter than Pym? Probably. Is Reed smarter than Banner?
Banner, I'm going to argue with because what has he done besides developed one weapon?
But we're talking about Supreme, all right? what could Banner have done if every time that he stubs his toe, he didn't eat an entire building?
There's that.
If we talk pure science, could Banner have done what Pym did?
Sure.
Could Pym have done what Banner did? And therein lies my answer.
Maybe, possibly, if he had enough time and dough. But, no, I still think Reed should have got it if anybody, but...
But Reed wouldn't fall for something that dumb.
No, he wouldn't.
Scientist supreme. That sounds stupider than a bag of frogs.
I still think it was all in his fucking head. That's what I think.
Who knows, man? He was busy banging his house robot who was cheating on him with Ultron in the dumbest plot line of the 20th century.
Invincible Iron Man 32.
Detroit Steel.
We finally get the knockdown, drag out, all action issue that we've been dying for since they put that stupid Detroit Steel on the last page of whatever that issue was. We knew there was going to be a confrontation. We knew it was going to be crazy and it was going to be over the top. They finally fucking give it to us.
There you go.
And I was happy with it.
Yeah, it's a fun issue.
I was good.
I was, however, frustrated by the fact that, a big plot point is two of them lying on the ground out of power and another Pepper Potts dream sequence.
Yeah, I didn't need her hallucination there in the, field of glory, or whatever the fuck she was, talking to Happy again. That I could have dealt with.
And then finding out that Happy is the Jarvis subconscious. I like you, Pepper. Open the pod bay door, Hal.
I'm sorry, Hal, but I'm afraid I just can't do that. We can certainly afford to be out of communication for the short time it will take to replace it. Do you think Jarvis is one day going to go all Hal on... Do you think that's a possibility?
You can't rule it out.
No, you can't.
Apparently he's dating her subconscious as her dead husband while trying to convince her that Tony's a bad person.
And was it me? Yes, it was. This was an entirely different story. Again, at the end of the world with your pal Pepper Potts. Fraction wrote it, which is just fine. But Jamie McKelvey...
You didn't like the artist?
Well, he seems like he wants to be drawing a Saturday morning cartoon or anime rather than a comic book. It just has that cel-shaded quality to it. I mean, it's clean, which I like.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of unnecessary cross-hatching or shading or any of that horse shit that people who feel that they need detail to be competent.
Right.
And that irritates me, that kind of artwork. I have to show a detail here, so I'll just chuck in a couple of extra lines.
You are very picky in your art.
Well,
for a man with no artistic ability whatsoever.
Well, no, that's the best kind of picky to be. What are you talking about? I mean, if
we criticize who cannot do.
Well, who else is gonna?
Those who do.
If we left all criticism to only the professionals in their given field, where would that get us? How could we recognize any kind of quality at all?
Actually, some of the great critics have actually been writers, and Robert Benchley and
some of them.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, I don't think Gene Siskel ever made it.
But well, yeah. What did he write? Return to the Valley of the Dolls, for fuck's sake. Or Valley of the Dolls. What did he write?
None of them. You're thinking of Ebert.
Oh, yes. You're right. You're right. You're the movie guy.
And it's Beyond the Valley.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Ooh. Not that anyone has seen that movie in the last 10 years. No way.
I have not. You weren't sure for a second, though.
You might. You're the kind of guy that you would see that on Netflix and say, fuck it, it's been a while.
No, I've never seen Valley of the Dolls or Beyond Valley of the Dolls. No, Fraction and Iron Man is just a phenomenal time. I'm excited. I'm very curious. I love that the car has just been a fiasco from day one. I love that one of his employees figured out that it was a video game before he did. I just don't fully understand why they're lying on the ground so that he can be more powered up.
That part I didn't quite get either. Because they're not using wireless power. You know, this is not a fucking Tesla power propagation scheme here, which would actually be kind of cool. If Tony really wanted to help the world, he would figure that shit out. You know?
He's working, you know, at this point, Tony should really go back to weapons.
No. The weapons thing is played out. I think, not strictly green, but I think that if Tony was more socially conscious like he wants to be, but he keeps screwing up.
If he'd like to be fiscally responsible,
well,
he should
yeah,
go
it would be
back.
nice if he could be fiscally responsible too. I mean, there's got to be 1,000 ways he can take his company where he wouldn't get taken over by one of his rivals who wants to kill his ass again. I mean, Stain, Hammer. There was at least another one, right?
Hammerstein.
There was another one.
Yeah, Hammerstein.
No. There was not a Hammerstein.
I'm kidding. Although that would be horrifying.
There was another S. Wasn't there? There was Justin Hammer, Obadiah Stane.
Well, now there's...
No, I mean in previous years.
I don't remember beyond the two, but I would not be shocked to find out there was a third one.
Well, at any rate. Yeah, no, there's no reason he shouldn't, you know, be socially conscious. I mean, we've seen his story handled where all the really good shit he makes gets turned around. He's got to be getting tired of that.
Well, you know what? The number of things he's created that have done phenomenal things and done quite well. Shields, giant flying ships, Wolverine's motorcycle.
Yeah, but he did all that for either individuals or governments. What's he doing for the world at large?
Yeah, most of the great architects didn't build buildings for people, you know.
Yeah, but those are individual units. You know? Those can get re-rented out to somebody else entirely. They can get bought and sold. But it only ever matters to the owner at the time. Or academics who are like, this architectural reminds me of the Guggenheim and blah, blah, blah. No, if he's going to leave a bigger legacy than his father did, and it appears to me, at any rate, that his father is very high in his mind about where he needs to be to gain his retroactive approval from his dead pop.
Right.
Then he needs to do something that's going to benefit on a grander scale. And a car is an okay place to start, I guess.
Yeah, but it's a green Uber car.
Well,
And
sure.
I think it turns into a mecha.
No, it doesn't turn into a mech.
Some sort of robo.
It's not fucking Bumblebee, okay? Energy's definitely got to be the way he needs to go. He's got... If he could make, like, an analog to a cosmic cube that was just electrical power and wasn't, like, reality warping, then that's where he should focus. That's where he can make his impact.
If you want to make a positive impact in the world at large,
Yeah.
staying as far from the cosmic cube as possible seems like a wise choice.
Strictly speaking, yes.
What it comes down to really is I can't wait till he beats the shit out of Detroit Steel and we see what Fraction brings up next. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm totally enjoying this. I like that he's building his company up. I like that they're building individual characters. I can even deal with rescue. But just fucking punch Detroit Steel 40,000 times and let's see the next friggin' robot.
All right, I think we've covered that ground well enough.
What do we got next?
We got Cat 612, Brubaker, Geis, and Breitweiser.
The Trial of Bucky Cap.
The Trial of Bucky Cap, Part 2.
Pardon.
Bernie Rosenthal comes back. Of
As an
all
attorney.
fucking people. Well, she was always an attorney. But, really? Bernie
Yeah.
Rosenthal? Talk about dead and buried
Well,
fucking
who else do
characters.
they bring back? Who's the villain I'm always trying to remember and that you're always like, I don't know who you're talking about. He's a big, fat, walrus-looking psychologist villain.
Wait, what?
Dr. Faustus.
Oh, that guy, yes.
Yeah, see, finally, a name after 60 goddamn episodes of going, that dude.
I think Brubaker's using some photo reference at this point, though. Not Brubaker. Geis. How many different hairstyles does Bernie need in one issue? Dude.
She's an attorney. Let her do what she wants.
But really, Bernie? Really?
What kind of... Like, how would you possibly pull off a defense for, I was a psychotic, not Soviet
Communist
assassin?
Well, he was under mind control. I mean, it's that simple. He never knew what was happening in the world. He would get pulled out for a mission. He would accomplish the mission, and then they'd put him back in the stasis again, and that'd be the end of that. What was he going to know? He was brainwashed. Soviet brainwashing is very extensive, comprehensive, and
I've seen the Manchurian Candidate.
there you go. I mean,
The
how
original.
clear does it have to be?
Not the Denzel. The Frank Sinatra.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
My question is, though, regardless, is he supposed to be a horrible person? No, fine, got it. He's Bucky.
Yeah.
But do you really want a dude who used to slaughter people for the Russians, voluntarily or not, to be Captain America? Or are we slowly building towards the return of Steve Rogers, superhero, as Captain America?
No, I don't think they're going to do that just yet. Even if
maybe Bucky can become the Summer Soldier.
Are you done? The Summer Soldier? Really?
Well, the Fall Soldier sounds ridiculous.
The Autumn Soldier.
The Autumn Soldier.
Every last bit as bad.
I'm Spring Soldier!
No. The Summer Soldier sounds bad. Winter barely covers it. Because, I mean, essentially in Russia, it's always fucking winter. So...
I think you're thinking of Siberia, but your theme holds true.
Have you seen how high Moscow is on the fucking parallels on the globe?
No.
It's way the fuck north, dude. I mean, they can spit to the Arctic Circle from goddamn St. Peter's Cathedral.
I'm just going to... So, but this whole... I mean, where are they... What else do they have other than the court case at this point?
They're going to bring back Sin.
Rapture.
No, not Rapture. Sin.
Sin.
The Red Skull's daughter.
And who saves her?
That shithead that was... It's not Crossbones, is it?
New. It's somebody new.
Here's the end of the issue, and I don't see where it is. Let me go back a couple of pages here. See if I can find it. Dr. Faustus, the big red-haired doofus with the beard. Yeah, where is it?
Oh, dear God. Let me
It's
see.
the Masterman.
There it is.
We already knew it was the Masterman. Why
Yes.
was I even looking? Who, as you noted earlier, looks mysteriously like Marvel Man.
And Marvel Man.
And Miracle
And
Man.
all double M's.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's like Mickey
Is
Mouse.
there a connection?
The Mickey Mouse Marvel Man connection.
The Mickey... Okay, that's enough of that. Nazis fucking everywhere, man. Nazis in Thor, Nazis in Cap. You think they're going back to the well just a little bit too much here?
I want to see more Nazi zombies.
No.
All right. What's next in the pile?
Highland Laddie, number 4.
Now, all this issue did was, other than be really creepy with the chick melting her own eyeballs,
Well, just give us a bunch of backstory on the girl.
and throw, once again, that this book is unreadable without being up to date in the boys.
Yes.
Remember all the things he said to me? No. Oh, they seem horrible. Remember when you got a videotape of me blowing a bunch of dudes? No. Seems horrible.
It's not a fun book. It's a very character-driven book. It's a very continuity-heavy what the hell did I just read book.
It is entirely a side project. Is it terrible? No. Is it kind of fun? Sure. But if you're not up on the boys, which I am not,
No.
it doesn't do a lot
They're
for
essentially having auditions, tryouts, / beauty pageants for pre-adolescent potential superheroes.
Yep. Creepy.
That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, I mean, definitely throw some new light into some of the things going on in the boys.
Uh-huh.
But do you understand what's going on in this book without reading the boys?
No.
There's a whole lot of holes.
I can't wait till it's done. I'm hoping it's just 6. If this goes to 12, I'm going to be mad that I have to buy 12 of this shit.
Wait, again, have to is not really the right word.
Well, no, I'm not required to buy a goddamn thing.
There is no law.
There's a beer for each of these comics missing here.
Ruh-roh.
Dude, I equate everything with how much it costs in other things.
Beer math.
The down payment on my car, 10 sessions of fencing.
You're a weird, weird dude.
I find it the only practical way, and a very geeky way, so that we make it fit in a podcast, a very practical and geeky way to take control of your finances.
I actually just think of it as money. But
We know what you think of money. Howard the Duck! Oh my God! Yeah, I gotta spend $1 on that.
Yeah, I'm not fiscally responsible. Me and Tony Stark. Anyway.
What? More Mickey?
Woo!
Mark Millar and Lionel Yu's new series, Superior. Now, I'm wondering if anybody else, besides the two of us, there's been a lot of references to Big in this book.
And of course, you and I went not only to different places, but different from Big.
Different from Big. I was instantly brought into the mind of Malibu Comics Prime.
Which I think is even better than my first thought was Hero for Hire, or Dial H for Hero,
Yep.
rather. But no, I think Prime is a phenomenal comparison.
You know, with his edge, the whole Prime motif might fit. You know, the only thing is, when space monkeys get involved, you gotta wonder if it's in the kid's head or not. Because random space monkeys just saying, "Look, I'm gonna give you superpowers, turn you into everything you ever wanted to fucking be."
You get one wish.
I'd take a wish from a space monkey.
Space Genie Monkey.
Space Genie Monkey. I would take a wish from a Space Genie Monkey, but you gotta wonder, this kid spends a lot of time with either his one sole friend who gets the shit kicked out of him on a apparently regular basis.
Or his banging hot mom.
Nobody's banging his hot mom.
Well, his dad is.
Well, okay, yeah, but that's not him. That's not the same. And he sits at his computer and he reads his comic books, a lot like a whole lot of people we know. I don't know if it's strictly going to end up a dream, but the whole Space Genie Monkey thing.
I think honestly, I think you're trying to make more honest than is there. I think you're starting to look at Millar
and
like
desperately
M. Night
try
Shyamalama.
desperately try to find the twist that may or may
Right.
not exist.
I think that Superior is very much a Millar product, but unlike Wanted, Nemesis, and Kick-Ass, it's starting from a much slower... I mean, we're 2 issues in, and next to nothing has happened.
Well, sure. I mean, you had to set something up. He can't just jump into
But
everything
that's all.
every time.
Millar, other than
That
Wanted...
is his history.
Wanted was a subtle setup, but it came on very quickly in the first issue.
Yes.
But once again, in a phenomenal way, Millar is showing let's learn powers much more realistically than anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
I'm flying. Oh my God! How do I get back down?
I don't know how to stop. We should test chains. How many chains can I break at once? you know, you got to experiment. Kids would experiment. I would experiment. Shit. You know?
So, I'm enjoying Superior. I think it's a creative book, but it's much lighter than the rest of the Millar books.
Oh, sure. Nothing wrong with a light book every once in a while.
No, absolutely not. Particularly from Millar, considering all of his other books. You know, I'm currently reading Nemesis, gay boy banging sister because of uterus bomb.
You just threw a bunch of words out there and hope they apply.
They all did, though.
Not strictly in order, though.
Who cares about order? All right, what's next?
The intensely disappointing Secret Warriors.
Well, we have the death of two secret... Well, we have the clear death of one Secret Warrior and the presumed death of a second.
Yes. Phobos is no more.
Yeah. Hard to keep moving with the sword in the sternum.
Yes, that's never going to work properly. And the Betrayer...
JT...
seems to have been just bye-bye'd. And I was hoping that he would do that. Because Nick Fury, I don't think Nick could be giving that guy another fucking chance, man.
But you know what?
This is Nick fucking Fury. This is not Samuel L. Jackson.
This is Nick. I see your point, but how many issues are we into this book?
This is 22 now.
Do you give a rat's ass about anyone in this book?
No.
You know what the highlight of this book is for me?
I kind of have a mild affiliation to Daisy because she's up at the forefront so often. But if I never read another story with Daisy in it, I wouldn't shed a tear.
Yep. You know what the highlight of this book is for me?
What's that?
It's reminding the world that Dum Dum Dugan can kick your ass. That's what I like. Is, hey, you know what? You think guys are tough now? Dum Dum Dugan would beat the shit out of your dad, kids.
And he's 90,000 years old.
That's what I like. Little things.
Hitting each other.
But...
No, but you know what I heard? I heard that this was only planned for like 24 to 30 issues.
Why? I mean, what is the point of this book? No one, Nick Fury's tough. We knew this.
He's never been out of the Marvel spotlight, so it's not like
even when he's out, he's still in it.
Yeah, they never needed him.
I'm hiding from Skrulls while I'm killing Skrulls. But he's created the secret team that really don't give a shit about. It's like, let's take the New Mutants and then not let any of them do anything for 14 issues.
Somebody needed to fight Hydra and Leviathan and whatever that other splinter
yeah, but they
group
barely
was.
done anything. They showed up, shook some shit, and ran. Half
Pretty
of
much,
them are in a coma and 2 of them are dead.
That's what
Apparently,
happens.
Nick Fury can't recruit for crap, is what I'm learning from here.
Well, Nick is a faithful cynic.
Team Suicide attacks.
I don't know what else to say about that book.
You know what? I mean,
what else is there to say about it?
I'm intrigued by it. Like, I'm not sitting here, like, there are books I'm like, dude, don't bring this to my fucking home anymore. This is not one of them, but at the same time, I can't say that I'm phenomenally enjoying it. I'm not looking for a graphic, which I don't think even exists.
Anymore. No, there's 2 out.
Really?
Yep.
Madness.
Yeah. Well, they're trading everything.
How many people can you name on the team?
None. They don't focus a whole lot on the kids.
What is the point of the book then?
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
The Gorgon.
Initially, it seemed like they were going to take out Hydra because it had infiltrated every goddamn buddy everywhere. If there was an intelligence agency or a law enforcement agency anywhere, they had gotten their claws into it. But now that doesn't seem... It seems to have focused back down on just Hydra and Leviathan, and even Leviathan is going bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, we get to see Strucker punch in the face. That was a highlight.
Yeah, there could have been something else.
You've got Yo-Yo, the guy who turns to steel. And the Druid is coming back next issue.
I don't need the Druid. So I kind of hope it does finish. I kind of hope it finishes on an up note. I kind of hope it doesn't get renewed.
It's not. I mean, I don't know how.
Not anymore. Now, if you remember, if you go back through our old episodes, you liked this book a lot.
Yeah, because it was subtle and interesting, and it's like, what's he going to go with this team? And then it's like, nowhere.
Yeah,
well, I don't care about nowhere. I've been nowhere. Where do you think I live?
It's turned out that it's gone absolutely no fucking place. Which is exactly what we're getting in Incorruptible as well.
Now, Alana Patel is part of the team. They've revealed the senator to be the evil villain. The cop is still not drinking and saving people with machine guns. The villain is now kind of getting a reputation as not being a douchebag, and his sidekick's an alcoholic. What?
Wow. And there's a giant war machine ready to take out an entire Midwestern town for no reason.
And the cops have a bunch of stolen alien weapons that they keep happy to attack giant attacking tanks with.
Well, you gotta have a fucking backup plan somewhere. When is he gonna get ready to go face Tony?
You know what? I don't know that it's really about facing Tony so much that it's about him redeeming himself. Like, Incorruptible is a separate book.
Well, it sure is, but now we're a whole year into this book, and we've only got the slightest shreds of Max making forward movement on changing his public perception. He knows what he wants to do. He knows how he wants to get there to do it. But we see nothing that the world at large thinks they're going to support him in this. Except for that one cop.
And he didn't even like him.
Nope. Not at all. So,
I would not read Incorruptible if I didn't like Irredeemable so much. It's what it comes down to. I don't dislike Incorruptible, but it's the fact that how captivated I am in Irredeemable, which is starting to waver, that carries me through Incorruptible. I don't know your take, but that would be mine.
That sounds about accurate, really. You know, I think I'll give it to 16. If we don't see further forward movement at that point, you know, economically speaking, I can't justify it after that.
Hey, you know, it all comes down to finance, and really, that's all comic collecting. Like, buy things you like. When you buy first issues, you buy everything. It doesn't work out.
Nope.
And then here's Irredeemable, proving me wrong with its very next issue.
Number 20. Almost 2 full years of this stuff.
Yep.
It's amazing. A semi-independent book. Boom is a very small publisher, but it's making big splashes. It's got all the right fucking licenses. So what has previously happened here is that
an alien race has come to take out the Plutonian.
Right.
Put him in a coma where he's imagining that he's not a douchebag.
Right.
The heroes are celebrating this as their victory.
One in particular has made it all about him, really.
The survivor, or whatever.
The survivor who tells the entire planet on worldwide broadcast news that everything's going to be different and fine and hunky-dory at this point, which he has absolutely no way of backing up whatsoever.
And he starts talking about superhero police state that he's envisioning. Like, that's going to go over well.
Which is going to be a really bad idea.
Meanwhile, the Plutonian in his is reimagining saving the entire world. The survivor's brother is being held by Modius, which seems like a horrible plan. And Volt is still dead.
Volt is still dead.
Oh, and the aliens have shown up just to take over the Plutonian, but they're not going to invade the world, even though that's what they do. Because they made a deal with the guy.
Well, that was their deal, yes. That was their bargain.
But he's dead, and they're evil aliens, so who gives a rat's ass about the deal?
They probably will come back. So they're going to put him in this gigantic... They put him in this cell with all these other crazy-ass... Are these prisoners? Are these experiments? What are these things? They certainly act like, simple felon prisoners. So... Is that what they're supposed to be?
All I know is what I've learned from the Key and everybody else who takes the Justice League or the Avengers hostage and puts them in dream states is that they wake up and they punch you.
You know what irritates me about some people's writing?
What's that?
And it doesn't happen often with Wade, but you get the word balloons. The letterer puts in those brackets, sometimes parentheses, sometimes greater than, less than signs, whatever they're called in punctuation. You're the English major. What are they called when used in punctuation? Shrug. Yeah, summa cum laude. This is what we get. Shrug.
I didn't know that for a year.
Douche. What kind of moron never looks at his own diploma for a year?
But they handed it to me. I took off before they realized what they'd done.
Nuthatch. So, that punctuation, whatever it is, assumes that everything is being translated. Right?
Right.
And they go ahead and use odd phrasing anyway. There's no reason not to put it in English because it's already translated.
But it's being translated badly. It's like, action movies from Asia.
But why would it be translated badly?
Why wouldn't it be translated? Everything's translated badly. You killed my master and took the gold.
All right.
I shall now kill your mother.
In a Hong Kong action flick, that's one thing. That's real language. People really spoke something, and now somebody else has to figure out what they meant using entirely different words altogether. This, however, is one guy making up every last syllable as he goes along. So that doesn't apply here.
But it does, because he's writing as if it's being translated, and translation is never 100%.
Dubious at best.
Well, it's an implication. Is it necessarily phenomenal writing? No. Is it? But he's attempting to show that there is a translating factor and that it doesn't work perfectly. Because how ridiculous is it when people show up from space with tentacles, breathing chlorine, and understand irony? When the alien talks perfect English, or when you can speak perfect Martian based on 7 seconds, or when you can drive a spacecraft and run it with a computer because they both speak Mac.
All right, that one right there. I know you're talking about ID4 right there. That was an egregious fucking thing.
But the fact of the matter is that what he's trying to do is show that it's not, because it's alien, things are not going to be perfect.
New meat splattered wet soil on my foot casings.
You knew what he meant?
New meat splattered wet soil on my foot casings. Now, they're all standing in the exact same fucking spot, which is,
a big muddy pit.
according to the proportions, probably a good 8 to 12 inches of this wet soil.
Yeah, so, and
the implication being that wet soil, possibly being akin to night soil,
or poop,
is feces.
Could be
shit.
But
now they're standing in shit. So, having been standing in shit, if anything was going to get splattered, it wouldn't be on his foot casings as opposed to his boots or shoes, which, by the way, the wet soil goes up about at least half. Wouldn't it be more effective if the art had it splash in his face or on his chest or anywhere that wasn't already in the wet soil?
None of this matters. And I'll explain why. You've been the new kid 4,000 times.
Yeah.
Whatever you did didn't matter.
Nope.
What they said you did is what caused the fight. And that's what they're looking for here, is the fight. So, you know what? He could have handed them flowers and be like, I'm sorry, I prefer daisies. Punching you.
There is that.
There you go.
And then he falls unconscious and has another dream of
Well, he's
a better
always
day.
been unconscious. He's a freaking zombie right now, and he's going to wake up and punch everyone.
Probably. Unfortunately, we have... Whoa, wait, what's going on? Alright, so, unfortunately, we're going to have to end on a down note.
No good.
Because well... Again, I don't understand you, of all people, having a problem with iZombie.
Your theory is that I enjoy this book because there's a grandfather soul trapped in a crotchety monkey.
which is a big bonus.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the book.
You like
for me.
monkeys.
I love monkeys.
Monkeys
Kids
are great
love
to
monkeys.
you. Everyone loves monkeys. The addition of a monkey into anything instantly makes it funnier.
In no way am I denying this.
And his being crotchety, like Bill Shatner on Shit My Dad Says.
Never seen it.
Well, have you ever read Shit My Dad Says?
Nope.
That's some hilarious stuff. You ought to check that shit out.
You know, Tucker Max has a second book out.
Great. Like, I need that fucking miscreant in my head again.
You love that book.
I was amused by it at points, but he's such an incredibly reprehensible douchebag that I just cannot fucking deal with the fact that there's a person on this planet like him. You are not remotely like him. You've never banged a fat chick and shoved her naked out of a fucking second-story window just to avoid having your friends having seen her.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Yeah, see? All right. But iZombie. All right. Now, I will give you that it's moving kind of slow.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. I will give you that. There's been no true development of
Anything.
why the vampire hunters are hunting these particular vampires. There's been no indication of why this little mentor character who has taken it upon himself to glom onto Gwen even exists.
Or why she's a zombie. Why is there a ghost. What the fuck a were-terrier is.
I mean, a were-terrier is just a were-terrier. Think about it. I mean, werewolf, why not? There are were-rats. There's room in a fictional universe for were-anything. There's no need to even talk about that. However, the ghost, I mean, it's just a ghost. There's no need to explain why a ghost exists. Ghosts are standard. In a fictional universe, ghosts exist. That's all there is to it. Now, in this particular fictional universe, at very least, this one particular zombie, as long as she eats brains, she can remain cognizant and move forward and quote-unquote live a normal life. It's only when she hasn't eaten brains, in particular, that she starts to deteriorate. And, you know, there's any number of explanations about compounds in the brain, etc., that'll affect the necrotic tissue in one way or another. You can just pick any set of explanations you want for that, plug it in, and it'll be okay. It's fiction. Doesn't fucking matter.
There's simply...
How the plot is being driven is where I'm worried.
There are too many things happening in this book, and not enough of them are interesting.
That's one of... I'm with you halfway on that one. There's way too many things happening.
Do you really think that many of them are intriguing?
You know, if they focused on the vampires and then went to the mentor thing on a whole nother story arc, that would work. That would work much better. You know, call it even. But this uncompressed stuff, you know, Roger Stern, an 80s or 70s writer, would have had this entire fucking series wrapped up 2 issues ago, called it even, moved on to a whole nother plot line, and had a good day. The uncompressed thing, so ably done by Bendis, Hickman, Johns, Willingham, it's starting to get old on me. I want to know where this was going, because I like a bunch of the concepts
live in the Claremont world.
I want to see them executed a little differently.
This is the bastard child of Chris Claremont.
It sure as shit. That's a very good way to put it. It sure as shit is. Dangling
And
plot
there's your
threads that
title.
lasts for years. It sure as shit is.
No, the bastard child of Chris Claremont. Or if you prefer, Chris Claremont's illegitimate, crappy offspring.
I just want things to move forward. There's no reason. Honestly, you know what I think is happening? I think people are so focused on coming up with concepts that they're no longer worried about coming up with stories.
My main thing with this book, honestly, is that there's not enough good or interesting to put up with what I don't like. They're throwing weird...
Story-wise.
Or even
Because I know you love Allred.
I love the art, absolutely. And I love the Grumpy Monkey. But in general, there's a lot of caricature being passed to me as character in that I'm not overly interested.
No, I can see that. And speaking of caricatures,
Yes, what do we have?
Fantastic Four has become a caricature of its fucking self at this point.
Don't want to give up on this book. I don't like it, but I keep hoping I will. But I cannot wait for this countdown to end to see where it goes.
I want this to be over. We've talked about this before. There's only one person they can really get rid of and not totally fuck up everybody forever.
You think it's going to be Reed?
No, they can only get rid of Johnny.
I think it's going to be Ben.
If they get rid of Sue, suddenly children have no parent.
I think it's going to be freaking Ben for the 14th time.
If they get rid of Reed, not only do you have kids without a parent now,
And they
you
just
also,
did it.
Yeah, they just did it. And they don't have the world's greatest scientific genius, Hank Pym notwithstanding.
He's never been scientist supreme.
If they get rid of Ben, that's too easy.
I think
he's wanted to not.
Everything about this book has been too easy, though. Too easy is where they
lot
live.
of it.
What they need to do is get rid of this freaking weirdo child brain trust.
His weirdo child brain trust.
Meanwhile, they've got Galactus coming back, finding his own future corpse lying buried.
And starting to question the Fantastic Four about why it's there. It's like, well, you know, technically...
I found your particles on my body.
He really wants
That's just creepy.
He really wants to know. He needs to know. Because technically... I mean, you know Galactus' origin, correct?
It's been a long time.
Long time. In the whole Ragnarok vein, there is a concept where the entire universe, not just Asgard, etc., is on a whole cyclical pattern. It's on a much grander scale. It's not a mere 26,000 years. But he's the survivor of the last universe that existed before the Big Bang. So, Galactus is more than 14 billion years old. So if he's going to have a corpse running around from the future, he wants to know where the fuck it is. What the hell caused that? Because 14 billion years is a pretty good run, and who wants it to stop?
Apparently Reed Richards.
But did he kill him?
No.
He would never kill anybody. He might nullify him ultimately.
Maybe Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete could not stop Galactus.
I'd read that issue.
I'd read the attempt. And then I'd laugh on page 2 when he incinerated Paste Pot Pete to his component molecules.
So I don't care about the Fantastic Four because of this book. And
no, they had an interesting arc with the whole let's be diplomats with the 3 underwater kingdoms. I didn't mind that. It came out of nowhere because we never knew about these 3 underwater kingdoms
but even
before.
that, suddenly you've got Namor being Captain Douche for the 4,000th time. I am the only king underwater.
He can't ever make up his goddamn mind.
He's a dick. He's made up his mind a long time ago. There's nothing new there. I, Namor, equal cock bag.
Oh, wow.
There's your alternative title.
Ooh, buddy, I'm not putting that one out in public, man. If people want to hear that one, they're going to listen to the damned episode.
Fair enough. Namor is a cock bag. You heard it here first, kids.
You couldn't say teabag. You just had to say cockbag.
I'm not wrong.
You know what? Let's finish this one up and call it even, huh?
All right.
American Vampire number 9. So we find out a semi-origin for the cop.
Our cop is the adopted son of his father, who's a vampire, who's teamed up with Skinner, which is a horrible move,
Yes.
against the other vampires, who all die, and then Skinner kills the father and betrays the cop and torments his pregnant wife so that the cop's son is born part freak, but we don't know what it is because it's being carried around in a dark backpack.
With yellow eyes. The yellow eyes pretty much cover it. You know?
He's a freaky baby.
Are you feeling a change in the tone?
I am still very intrigued by this book, but with this issue it becomes a lot more Stephen King than it had previously. Suddenly quirky and weird.
Becomes what the fuck?
No, before this I was intrigued, and suddenly it's like, I am really quirky and weird. Which is not to say they won't go somewhere interesting. We now know Skinner can be hurt by gold,
Which is an odd element to be hurting a vampire with.
He's a different kind of vampire, though. So a different element makes sense. Silver hurts the regulars, gold hurt, plus gold's harder to find, so...
So, theoretically, I could go into my computer, pull out the video card, file down the edge of the contacts that go into the motherboard, slice this fucker in the neck, and that would be the end of it.
Well, he would split you from nuts to sternum.
What if he was sleeping at the time?
Don't mind me, I'm just whittling this computer chip.
Well, you wouldn't confront the guy until you were actually done and prepared. I mean, that's
I'm not
just
a big
silly.
bag of meat food,
That's
don't mind
dumb.
me.
If you caught him in his daily routine there where he has to be out of sunlight.
He doesn't have to be out of sunlight.
That's right.
Yes.
Shit, so that's a bad idea.
Yeah, so once again, Tech Jedi equals big bag of meat food.
What would you do about killing Skinner?
Leave.
You can't kill Skinner by leaving.
Yeah, but you know what? I can avoid the issue. Dude, I don't understand why more people don't do that. Like, I remember watching Salem's Lot, and they're like, "Where are the vampire hunters?" I'm like, I'm fucking moving. It's Maine. It's cold here anyway. I'm the fuck out.
It's cold here. I'm the fuck out. And if there's any better way to end an episode on a December night, I don't know it. Kids, come visit us at the website.
Remember to call on Wednesday, which you won't have heard by this point.
Call us anyway. Call us anytime you want.
Call Skype and
We're
speak slowly.
Here for you.
Don't be a Skypist.
And you know what? Listen to your fucking headphones. And if you get some weird feedback, just stop. Start over again. Leave a voicemail we can use. Thanks a lot. Have a great night.
Bless you, fuckers.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. You can find us on iTunes, Podcast Alley, Facebook, Comic Space, our own site, www.themeangeek.com. Subscribe to us through RSS, and most importantly, find us as a proud member on the Comics Podcast Network. Contact us directly through email at themeanergeek@gmail.com.